My bad. Actually, I get quite a few whatchamacallits back. Yeah, that wasn't bad. Looks fun. You mean Heartseeker? Well, I could appear. Okay, there we go. I wonder why there's such a long wait period for the altar. I could almost wait 10 seconds before they can do another boss. Oh, what? Very end. Do I get to try him again, or I didn't lose him the first time. Oh, okay. So he only spawns. So yeah, if you die, he doesn't spawn again. It looks like. Dude, to me, poison trap is good. Well, I don't know yet. I don't think anyone's really done or has a fully fleshed out build for it yet. But according to the numbers, we think it's dead on arrival, meaning not good. Do you like that playstyle though? Like, were you one of the ones that is kind of looking forward to poison traps? You like the concept for sure? Okay. You're definitely in the minority on that. But with that being said, I do hope that they do buff it enough for it to be viable for you. I would say it's definitely not it's not a concept that I've heard people request, if that makes sense. Or I put it this way, it's not a popular concept. I'll put it that way. But if you do enjoy it, we will be playtesting it and see how far it can go and those kind of things. Which I find odd because trap assassin was insanely popular. Yeah, but I think the difference is phenomenal is that trap assassin felt good to play in D2. Poison trap doesn't feel good to play in D4. Like poison trap in general, like it's not it doesn't have, it's not fluid. really clunky to even place and use. So I think the idea is, with the focusing, yeah, they might be focusing on the skill, but you have to understand how it works mechanically, right? So poison trap mechanically, the way it works is you're stuck in the animation dropping a trap, and you got to hope everything kind of like hits the trap, but it has an animation, and it takes a little while before it can trigger, and then it just deals kind of poison damage. So it's kind of like poison imbuement that's in the circle, if that makes sense. So it's kind of like an overlap of something we kind of already have. It's just that you're basically, instead of hitting something with poison imbuement, you're just kind of putting poison imbuement in a circle that has a long cast time. So like, I'm not against the idea of traps by any means. I feel like I have a hard time. If they wanted to bring back the trap assassin fantasy, this is definitely ain't it. This ain't it. But if they could, I would have been more okay with it if they would have reworked how it worked, in a sense. Like the functionality, if that was different. Poison traps, you can tell, was designed to be like, you know, like a crowd control, use every now and then type ordeal situation, which was okay for how it was designed. But they upped the damage but didn't change how it works mechanically. You see what I'm saying? So I think that's kind of where the disconnect is. And I think that's why people who would normally be excited about a trap assassin playstyle isn't as excited about poison traps here, if that makes sense. But it is PTR. You never know if they may make adjustments or, you know, anything like that going into season 8. But that's my gripe with it, I think, in general. Just and of course the numbers are definitely undertuned, at least mathematically. Like we did like I'm actually we did the math and stuff like that behind it, and it's like, yeah, that's kind of dead on arrival. Like you might as well play Death Trap. Like that's the considerably better trap build right now. But it is PTR, you know, so they can make adjustments. But I hope they do something more with it mechanically. Dude, that actually hurts. Like, that did a lot of damage. Okay, that's a new attack. Death Trap is currently F tier because it's super bugged. Man. Well. Okay, so I'm not gonna lie, those mechanics are actually kind of fun to dodge. Like even if they don't make more extreme, you would think everyone they gotta make their skills hit certain damage parameters for anyone to care about something. Oh, I agree with you, phenomenal. I just I mean I agree. Like I totally agree with you. But you know, that's why we at Maxroll especially do the thorough testing that we do, because it's hard to rely on what their intent really is versus what reality actually is. Shit, welcome back. Yeah, thanks, man. Don just said the new scoundrel seems to have a lot of issues causing some strange interactions. Gee, I wonder where I heard that before, Don Tracker. You don't say. When they remake something or they redo something and things don't work as intended. Gee, I feel like I heard that somewhere before. Sounds familiar. The Jacob said, I'm not sure, they just upped the spawn chances for PTR, but they spawns too frequently. I haven't fought enough bosses to have an opinion, honestly. But you may be right. I like Perdition, by the way, better than Brown. Oh, sorry, Kyle the Nameless, Heartseeker. Now that we're not forced to go Kyle the Nameless anymore, Perdition makes a lot more sense. And this and the movement speed is very dope. Just kill a shot for that dot power. I imagine that might play a role into Rogue's build somewhere. I don't know. We'll see. That's a good question. I mean, that's something that you're gonna have to like go into like the training dummy and like strip off gear and like literally like, you know, like do a thorough test of like what's going on. That's like a job for Ava kind of testing. It's just doing bad things. Sure, we'll go with that. Let's go with speaking of poison trap. See if I can make that feel good. Since now it gives 20% damage to non-physical attacks. I can replace that from Shadow and Imbuement actually. Okay. Who did we fight? We fought Varshan, right? Let's fight him again. Yeah, he didn't even do his other mechanics at all. I wonder why. Like he legit did not do any mechanics. A Godslayer crown drops from Varshan? Thought that was a well, I guess there's a chance for that. It gets rolled in Ancestral though. I guess we're fighting below. Don't suppose there's a new dungeon for that new aspect. Nope. They don't ever add any new whatchamacallits.
Potato.
Decoy.
Potato. Hey.
Sure. Yeah, I just dropped the mythic actually from him. I mean, it's the crappy mythic, but a mythic nonetheless. I think I want to keep one of these for science. Maybe suggested it might be the extra death trap from the effect interfering, which makes sense. Another question? Yeah, what's that, man? Does the ring have the same effect as the dagger now? What do you mean? Don't they both lay decoy traps? Oh, no. Are you talking about Umber Crux? No, Umbercrux is a totem. No, it's a totem that you strike. Whereas this one is like a clone, like a kind of like a decoy. It's a little decoy that taunts. So no, they completely different functionalities. Okay, I don't like traps on 4. I like I feel better on 3. Although I kind of want to try the new trap aspect though. Part of me wants to. I switched to season and got level 23 a year, so that's cool. These monsters are always so hard to fight. There we go, finally. Is the boost available Thursday? Why are they always coming 2s, man? In the pit.
Macro by a boy raided my stream with 56
Macro with the raid.
We just got raided, son.
I can't pause or anything, but
You know how we do.
otherwise
Drop
I
my new
would.
beat for these new viewers.
But what's going on, sir? Oh, really? Well, now I could do the dance since I died.
Got cheesy.
Oh, and Sora's here too? Speaking of which, I need to start over anyway. Anyhow, how's Necro Land over there doing? Re-rated. Well, anyhow, I am, for those who don't know, I am Doxa. I am one of the Rogue Leagues. Not Rogue League, sorry. One of the Rogue, Maxroll Rogue Specialists for Maxroll. Currently, I am testing builds without the seasonal power so I can give proper feedback to how much they have destroyed every Rogue build known to man. And yeah, that is my job right now. So my feedback is going to be: this is how much you destroy the build by by a factor of X. And I get to do it 5 times for 5 different builds. So yay me. But we'll test the seasonal power stuff when the vendor dude appears. As long as I don't run into any armored dudes, like, this is very smooth. When I run into any purple aura dudes, it's like, why am I even playing this game anymore? That's how I feel. That's just how he sounds when he's through. Yeah, I mean, obviously, when you take away, when you remove a bug that we relied on for 4 seasons to be able to deal damage, and that bug was quite a bit of power. Don't get me wrong, I'm glad it's fixed. I've been begging for it to get fixed for a while. But now that you fixed it or whatever, there was 0 compensation for any of the rogue builds. 0, like literally 0. So we just all dropped like several tiers of damage from the current season without powers, just from that bug fix alone. I don't know, but this is... Also need to test different gloves. It is thought I heard something. One thing this build is really good at doing is killing bosses. Might take a while to get there, but the boss is gonna be like. The D4 Rogue needs a whole new rework from the ground up, honestly. I've been trying to say this, the whole idea of rogues being a hybrid class is kind of a mistake in the game like this. Rogues should just be pure assassin, melee skills, assassin traps, or whatever. And then they should have made like a demon hunter archetype or Amazon archetype or something like that for range, for bows and javelins or whatever. I think the demon hunter is way cooler. All right, let's try some other gloves. We'll keep it at 70s. I think 70s are good. A good testing level, I guess. Okay, we need to pick out a Fist of Fate. Like a good one though. Oh, come on. There we go. This will work. Alright, Fist of Fate time. We'll do the exact same thing. Poison puncture aspects to random drop rate. Yep, sure is. Not a fan of Jungle Monk. I mean, I don't dislike Spiritborn, but I always take care of my responsibilities first, which is Rogue. What? I evaded. Lame. No iframes. I actually started off well, and then it kind of went downhill quite quickly. All these guys being in the little corridors where my Heartseeker can't ricochet back to the target. Eats up half He's up almost half my damage. So that's not cool. We're gonna have to leave. The game crashed. Yeah, a lot of people are still having that actually. Okay, so not a fan of that. Let's see if they did anything secretly with Pangor. Just got it, but no reason not to try. Yeah. Is that my best Pain Gorges? It is. Now my poison trap should trigger it. I think it does. Been real for 12 years now. Wow. Look at those millions of damage procs from Pain Gorgers. Vanilla, what's going on? Man, this is kind of what I was expecting, honestly. So my procs are kind of dealing anywhere between like 15 mil to like sometimes 50, 60 mil. My actual damage hits for about 2 or 3 bill. The procs are probably doing about 15% of my damage roughly in an AoE fashion. Just got laid off. Oh, what happened, man? I love melee build, but it's mostly dead as the game's more about C-farm AoE now. I mean, I don't know. I would say more builds in this game is probably more melee centric, unless you have a very specific definition of what what you mean by melee. You mean being in like close range on top of them, or actually like smacking them with a melee weapon? Not enough work for position terminated. Oh, sorry to hear that, man. Yeah, surprisingly, Pain Gorgeous is actually not that bad. It's not great, but it ain't that bad. I still probably would stick with whatchamacallit though. Grasp for Shadows. Man, made a billions, 150%. Plus increased damage to enemies hit by trap. Millions. Is it Mathis for his finest? Actually don't want to finish this so I can save time. But nothing new has happened with Pain Gorgeous, so which is kind of the reason why I made the attempt. Just wanted to see. New. What up, Peachy? Now you're just trying to engross yourself into hobbies. Into your hobbies for now. How's PTR? Well, buggy as you know, to be expected, because well, it is PTR. The boss stuff is actually kind of cool, and they're actually pretty challenging for builds without seasonal powers. I'll put it that way. I don't know how strong the seasonal powers are, but I will tell you that like even my deck, like having a pretty decked out Heartseeker setup, which I would consider probably Rogue's third strongest build. You know, it's been pretty challenging. It was even pretty challenging for Render Rails actually. Although Render Rails obviously did get hit pretty hard, but yeah, the boss stuff is actually kind of cool, and some of the new mechanics that they did is actually kind of cool too. Like they're definitely avoidable, but they hurt like hell. You choose to not avoid that situation. Kind of like it. Okay, so what else haven't I not done with this? Actually, Peaches, let me ask you a question. I wonder if you know off the top of your head, does the clone itself has a lucky hit chance of 20%. So like, or is that just like when it's cast? Like, does the cast itself, like the damage cast itself, have a 20% lucky hit chance, or does the clone itself have the lucky hit chance of the skill I'm firing? How much you betting that soon to be back to face tanking, either face tank or one shots? So I will say some of those. I mean, you have to, like, in order to face tank it, you gotta build pretty tanky. Zara did some testing. I think the conclusion was it's clones base. Really? Well, I mean, if that's the case, that explains why Victimize felt bad with clone. I said felt bad, but it wasn't like, you know, popping off with clone. Let me message Ava. And Nikki said, I'm interested to see if you come up with anything about playing for Poison Trap. Well, I mean, honestly, with the way that they are feeding us Poison Trap, I mean, I don't think there's many different ways to do it. You just kind of take the aspects that they buff, pick their correct key passive, and then that's kind of really it. I don't think there's like multiple approaches to a Poison Trap build. It's a matter of, do you have the gear for it already, which right now I don't, because I don't really usually build exposure, not exposure, but alchemical admixture. I wonder if there's some sort of bossing strategy with it. I mean, not really. You just plant the traps and on top of the boss and hope the boss doesn't move too much. Kind of really it. Because like it's basically, I'll put it this way. The way that it works, think of Poison Trap like poison imbuement. It's just a circle. It's just poison imbuement in a circle. So instead of like you attaching poison imbuement to a skill to inflict poison damage, you're just using that poison in a circle of a trap. So the idea is just to make sure that whatever that you're putting Poison Trap on top of just gets poisoned, and they stay there long enough to continue to tick down until they die. Clones don't get additional life, like a hit chance from players. At least that was the consensus at last I checked. So yeah, I'm just gonna say to you right now, Aniki, there's not gonna be any like cool, like I'm gonna say cool, but there's not gonna be like a lure the boss into like these traps and then bam, I surprise you type sort of ordeal. It's literally gonna be walk up to the boss, put the trap on top of the boss. Hopefully he stays there and dies. That's it. Just thinking about the boss abilities, which you haven't got yet. I mean, so the ones that you would take would just basically just buff what I said. I think you're probably looking for something like visually cool or mechanically cool. that's gonna like change the way it works. And honestly, it's not gonna be that way. It's just what you're gonna want to know is how many zeros is Poison Trap gonna do. That's kind of what that is. But no, like there's not gonna be any like, I wouldn't say that there's any cool rotational setup or something clever of any sort. Maybe not, but I just like thinking outside the box. Oh no, I mean that's fair. I guess what I'm trying to tell you is that the death of action RPGs in general, like this and Path of Exile, and to an extent Lost Ark and Wilson and stuff like that, it all comes down to basically spamming one skill and then buffing the crap out of that one skill generally. That's the basis of most, if not all, action RPGs. I hate that it's like that. That's why I like builds that require a bunch of buttons, because I like to do different things inside of a build. That's why I like combo point builds, actually, believe it or not. But I mean, I guess at the moment, thinking outside the box, I'm not even sure what you could do more to think outside the box to make the build better. Like any side, like any or sorry, to make the gameplay any different, I put it that way. Anything that isn't placing the trap on top of the boss and hope that the bosses don't move, it's not going to give you a lot of damage. That's the general consensus of it. And everything else is just going to be to buff the trap damage. And that's it. That's why you don't see a lot of like build creators or theory crafters excited about it right now. Now Death Trap, different story. That's gonna be like, that's when it works properly, because it's bugged again. When that works properly, that's gonna be cool. Mechanically cool, I'll put it that way. Although the gameplay will still be kind of much of the same for Trap, but mechanically it's gonna be pretty cool. But we're talking about Poison Trap. Exposure chains we just spit in the face of stun grenade lovers. So basically they moved my fault. I was thinking about the wrong aspect or whatever. Tip Poison Trap, don't know about that one. Gotta get really creative. That's the thing. I mean, I think the underlying issue with Poison Trap is just the skill itself. You're trying to make something that is not mechanically interesting into an actual build. It's almost like Natalia's right now in Diablo 3. It's like you try to make something that was not interesting at all, which was the rework spy traps, and then try to make it a build. And that's the reason why people don't like playing Natalia's on D3 at the moment, because the skill itself sucks, but they try to like force it into a rework and with Natalia's, and then buff the crap out of it in terms of damage is concerned. And now it's kind of like, oh well, mechanically it feels awful to play, but I guess it does a lot of damage, so I'll do it, I guess. I kind of feel like this is a similar case here, where it's like they'll probably end up buffing Poison Trap for sure, because the numbers are going to show that it's not worth. But I think they've invested so much time into trying to make this work that I think they're gonna buff it a lot, because they want to force the play style. Like I said, the issue isn't necessarily how many zeros you add to the skill. The issue is more of a how does Poison Trap as a skill function? How does it feel to actually play? Per se. Does Shadow Imbue get buffed? No. Nothing of Rogue got buffed. Except, well, nothing of value of Rogue got buffed outside of Death Trap. And Poison Trap, I guess. Everything else on Rogue, so basically got nerfed. Mostly indirectly, but yeah. Feels like a dare, you're just losing your mind. Well, I mean, Shadow Imbuement is good and is good in T, like Torment's like T4 content where the enemy HP isn't that high. I mean, Shadow Imbuement does just fine. It's when you start getting into like the higher pits where it falls off a ton. But I mean, it's scale with combo points. I mean, know how people feel about combo points. Also, that's fair. I guess you could do something like that. That is true. I don't know. When I'm done with all the marksman stuff, I'm gonna make the attempt for that. Uh, okay. Sorry, I had to message Ava for a couple of things. Prepare for your meeting. All right. He said, good luck everyone with the PTR. So what do you think about pin shot, maybe with shadow clones? Well, I mean, so I'll put it this way, Vanilla. What do you think about pin shot in season 7? Oh, that's how I was going. Do you make a new build yet or no? Well, I mean, I haven't gone through the 5 builds I'm responsible for yet, so nah. I'm only on build 2 out of 5. I almost don't even want to mess with Victimize now then. Because if what Peach says is true, then there's legit zero reason to test Victimize. I don't know. I haven't tried pin shot in a few seasons. Nah, I'm gonna tell you this way. I'm gonna tell you what. Pin shot is pretty garbage in season 7, and nothing has changed for season 8. In fact, it'll be worse than season 8. Will you be waiting for the boost to start season testing? Yeah, basically. I like that it also works with Insight though. Oh, you mean the poison trap thing? Yeah. Is it that bad so far? It's kind of hard to get a gauge because they also changed the pit scaling, so I can't give like a comparison per se. I will say that precision builds, or I guess you could say random rails, actually felt better to play versus like bosses because the trick attacks change. It now actually works on bosses and it can stack on bosses, so you can get full stacks of trick attacks without ads on bosses, which is a major quality of life for precision based builds, especially. However, obviously random rails got hit pretty hard with the rank 5 cap to distant damage, and of course the trick attacks bug is no longer a thing. So with trick attacks bugs being fixed, it's no longer compounding on each other anymore. Every rogue build lost a bit of damage because that bug was something that we relied on for damage. Don't get me wrong, I'm glad to fix it, but like they gave us nothing to compensate, so every rogue build goes down except for Death Trap, basically. So when I'm doing what I'm doing right now, I'm just testing for more so the feel of the builds and just get a general idea of how far down some of these builds have fell from the trick attacks bug fix, so I can give feedback on it. So that's what I'm doing right now. So maybe I'm thinking actual physical melee and range builds aren't it this season. I mean, you can. I mean, it's. I think at the moment, like, I wonder how much is the seasonal power gonna actually carry a lot of these builds. But I made it very clear to the devs, in my feedback, exactly what I'll be testing, and that, like, honestly, all I'm really asking is just for builds not to be worse than they were in the previous season because of the trick attacks fix. That's all I'm asking. If they can make that not be the case, then that's a good start. Let me see something. I'm not gonna play much of the 75, but I just want to see what my kill speed is like. The boss won't take long, but I just want to see what my kill speed is like. Yeah. Yeah, it is a big difference between a 70 and the 75, man. Huge. I'm still like slightly ahead of the clock though, slightly. Yeah. All right. Well, the 75 would be doable, as long as I don't run into any of those aura mobs or too many of them. Seem like they priority they did was skill damage like traps. Well, I mean, they basically are trying to promote traps this season. They basically even said it in the campfire chat that they want to like this is the season of traps or something like that. It's like what they said. So that already got me going, oh, okay, this is what they're going to kind of force into existence. Oh boy. Woody and Rash. What did Rudy? Well, actually, what did Woody do today, anyways? Because he didn't play long. Yeah, Spiritborn. Yeah, but like, what did he do? Like, did he level a new character, or did he like play around with existing builds or whatever? I didn't get a chance to catch him because I was streaming myself. I feel like Kyle's definitely worse. Which is a good thing, actually. Yep. Cool. All right, so perdition it is. We do some Russian claw testing. Okay. I think I am pretty much done with Heartseeker. So, things that are definitely going to be different for Rogue, it looks like, going forward, from even just playing the 2 builds I played so far. Now that utility aspects are no longer damage aspects, you can't do frostbitten anymore. In that case, in Custom Strikes, they changed for builds that don't use Beastfall boots. Penitent Greaves is now best in slot. Yeah, Penitent Greaves would be best in slot for most Rogue builds. Tibalt's Will might be as well if you can fit it in without and be able to still cap armor and res. That's gonna be the hard part. But you'll see Tibalt's Will and Penitent Greaves quite a bit on Rogue next season throughout several different builds. Things that are also going to be different will be Kyle and Nameless won't go on every Rogue build anymore, or almost every Rogue build anymore. So Kyle and Nameless will only be used for precision builds, which is a good change. Trick Attacks actually works on bosses now, which is a good quality, overall quality of life change. I'm trying to think of what else is kind of generalized on Rogue. Those are pretty much the main things. Full uniques and mythics, then yeah, pretty much. Watching Maz for a bit, he's shredding with the Sork Ice Shards. I was watching Panda play Ice Shards. He's I think he says like Panda seems to be on the fence about it. He's one of our Rogue Sork specialists as well. Well, not Sork Rogue, Maxroll Sork specialist. He thinks he's a little better, but he's kind of like a wait and see thing. What was I gonna do? gonna do one more Nightmare Dungeon and then we're gonna change out builds. I think I'm gonna try Rapid Fire next. Because I already got Precision kind of built right now. I mean, T4 is still kind of a cakewalk for Heartseeker. Rain of Arrows still. The pit scaling is so different though. It feels so different after 65, man. Like once you hit pit 65, man, like the scaling ramps. How's Rain of Arrows? Honestly, it feels better overall because now Starless Skies is going to be in the build. So like you're going to have more attack speed, which is going to make the build flow better with the Ultra Tryhard and the 1-to-1 Beastfall boost setup or whatever. The nerf to trick attacks hurt it a lot. And the nerf to capped rank 5 capped at 200% distance versus uncapped. You also feel that too as well. Ironically enough, it's still a pretty decently strong build, even after all the nerfs. But I think Death Trap will be. I know Death Trap should be a little stronger than Rain of Arrows next season. I think Rain of Arrows is probably going to be Rogue's probably second strongest build. So Death Trap and Rain of Arrows will switch spots basically from this season. Called it Andy Newman. Zio, what's going on? Let me ask you this about the feedback you want to change. You think they need how much of influence do you think you have on the change of those things when it comes to Rogue, or just in general, like game changes in general? So Heartseeker still at mid tier possibly. I mean, Heartseeker was higher than mid tier this season. Heartseeker's as a build, it's hard for me to count Twisting Blaze, Rain of Arrows as a build because it's more so Rain of Arrows, but like considering that, like Heartseeker was probably Rogue's third strongest build this season, this current season. It'll still kind of be probably the same. I guess that Death Trap and Rain of Arrows just kind of switch places, unless Poison Imbuement actually works correctly with Clone. Then Twisting Blaze would be up there with Rain of Arrows and Death Trap, or more so Death Trap. For Rogue, I won't say that I have a lot of influence. I mean, the devs are gonna do what they do, but I do think that they do value our feedback that we do give them. Because generally, when I give feedback, I don't. PTR feedback is probably a little different than like Rogue feedback during the season. Like PTR feedback is basically things I test, and I just kind of give them raw data and numbers. I don't tell them what to do with it or what they should do with it. I'm just My job is just to list what I find are issues, like what is actually working well and doing well and what's not. That's it. I don't go, it should be this instead, or it should be that instead. I just document my findings basically. Now when it comes to seasonal stuff, like during the season, when they want feedback during the season of how rogues are feeling, then that feedback comes from you guys. I play the game, I feel a certain way, but I also look at how everyone else in the community feels about Rogue, and that kind of make a big comprehensive, this is how the community feels about this skill and that skill, and this is why they feel this way. And because they feel this way, they either A, want to play a different class, 2, you know, or maybe it's the opposite way. Everyone wants to play Rogue now because this build or whatever, according to the community, is like super awesome or whatever. So like the way I get feedback is different depending on the stage of the game. So in PTR, my feedback is basically just data. Test data. Have I poison trap yet? Well, I have to build completely around it. So no, not yet. I'm a level 1 rogue. Why am I not doing the same damage? So do you think the seasoned rogue mains would feel more inclined to play other classes if they aren't trappers? Probably. At least based on PTR testing so far, probably. However, again, I don't have the seasonal powers. If the seasonal powers are that strong where they actually carry, then maybe it's a different story. But this is why I test without the seasonal powers, because like I don't want many rogue builds feeling like they got nerfed from season 7, even if they weren't that strong to begin with. They're also losing power. So it's like my hopes are I give them this data and say, hey, look, all these rogue builds fell down in power from season 7 because list reasons why, and then give them like, this is an estimate of how far each one of these builds have fell because of the changes that were made to, let's say, aka trick attacks, etc. Do you think seasonal powers will outshine regular skills and traps? No idea. I will find that out on Thursday. The devs are saying, or they said in the campfire chat that that it scales with your Paragon. So if it scales with your damage or your power or something like that, then I am assuming it probably scales with generic multipliers. And if that's the case, that's kind of more awful for Rogue, because we don't really have, a lot of higher power generic aspects. And it will also homogenize a lot of rogue builds, because then you'll just build literally just generic damage for every build to take advantage of the new powers, because the new powers at that point would probably be carrying. And I don't know how I feel about that personally, but I'll leave my reservations because, I haven't tried it yet. So it's good that you're getting the feedback. I would just say rogue bad. The sad news. So the thing is, here's my theory, King Titan. I hear you. I absolutely hear you. Like I personally understand exactly how you feel. My thought is this right now, when it comes to the PTR, they know that the fix the trick attacks basically hurt every rogue build except for maybe Death Trap, which actually got some buffs. So they know that. Like, they are aware of that. So my thought is, if their philosophy is they don't want to nerf, from the PTR, they want to like they rather undertuned than overtuned. I wonder if they purposely did not compensate us for the trick attacks bug fix and just waiting to see how far behind these builds are, and then actually just give them buffs before the season actually launches in season 8, because they have plenty of time, right? I mean, this is like what mid March, almost mid March. Season comes out the end of April. They got a ton. So I think the thing is that they know, they have to know, like they can't not know that trick attacks fix utterly like really hurt Rogue a lot, because, and don't get me wrong, it needed to be fixed. Like I'm glad it's fixed, but there's no compensation at all whatsoever. And I'm assuming they're just kind of waiting to see, okay, we know it'll be down bad for Rogues and PTR, but how far down is it? And they know that people like me and Nippy and other guys are going to test that, and they might go, okay, so we now know we need to buff these by this amount. You see what I'm saying? That is the thought process I'm thinking they're going with, but I'm not 100% certain, but that would align with their philosophy for sure. Now they may not like buff everything, but at least they'll have an idea and be like, oh, okay, it's this bad. Okay, we probably need to do something about that, kind of sort of thing. Do you think they might rush this because of lack of retention? Honestly, I think it's more so therefore they can have more time to make fixes, because to make adjustments and stuff takes time. So the earlier you put out a PTR, because keep in mind they put the PTR out earlier, and then they extended the season, so they delayed season 8 by 2 weeks. So my thought is they really want to have more time to make changes, and really dive into the feedback from what they're receiving and from PTR. And if that's the case, then that's good news. That is if they decide to go off of that feedback. So, all right, let's do rapid fire. I have enough data for random barrels and Heartseeker now, so let's go to rapid fire. Do I have a rapid fire sword already? I should. That's my victimized one. I should have rapid fire gear in general, but I don't think I saved it. I don't think I saved it in the armory. Speaking of which, do I have a rapid fire glove? Yeah, Scoundrel's Kiss. I think this is my best one, which is oof. Okay. Okay, I think this was my best glove that I had. Okay, so no, I don't have. Okay, I'm at to make one then. All right, that's fine. Let's see. Yeah, we'll just make one. Do I have any crit damage? I do. So I'll have to master word that. I need a rapid fire ring, or actually just a ring in general. Crit damage ring. should have a few, right? From playing Rain of Arrows, right? Yeah, okay. Yeah, I can just reuse one. Probably this one. I don't know. Yeah, let's go with. No, let's go with this one. It's not ideal, but it's good enough. No, actually I can't, because I guess I'm going Starless. What am I thinking? Boom. I got Starless right there. And I got this too as well. Guess I'm gonna keep that close damage to close enemies. Hey bro, how's the Rogue boy running in the PTR? Gonna be honest, not really exciting, but there has been some form of revelation though. Like we're not as bad against bosses as we were predicting to be. Since trick attacks can actually stack to full value on a boss now without ads, which is a humongous change for precision builds in general in terms of how it feels. No longer will we go and this is a better ring. I don't need that, do I? No, I don't. Let's put this back. But no longer will it feel super awkward to speed farm hits for precision builds where we destroy everything all the way up to the boss in 2 minutes. But then depending on the boss, the fight can be like 6 seconds or like 40 seconds for a speed pit or something, which is super awkward. So good quality of life there, but everything on Rogue practically got an indirect nerf outside of Death Trap. So my job is just to find out how much of a nerf things got and then give feedback. Okay, and what else gear piece do I need? Shadow Imbue. Okay, this is cold imbuement, so this is for rapid fire. What about the boots? Is it me or did they say the new season powers can scale now? Well, yeah, that's what I was saying. Talking about like they said that it scales with your Paragon, so I assume it probably scales with generic damage too. Assumption. I don't know for sure, but I feel like that's what it tells me. Actually, why do I have this sword? What's this sword do? Yeah, I don't need rapid fire. Temper. So I guess I would use that. I won't need to temper this then. Okay, so yeah, just boots. Oh, there it is. These are the boots. Yeah, cold imbuement. That's right. This demon and Kyoto has taught you. Yeah, so that's it. I hope that this season they come out strong and surprises. I'm gonna be honest with you. They're pushing Poison Trap really hard, and I'd be surprised if they don't buff the crap out of that for season 8 or going into season 8. And then we're all kind of pretty much trap robust for the most part. That is my, I don't say trap robust, but like, if you want to, do meta, it'll be trap robust. I think it'll be a real test PTR for Rose, as we know DT Heartseeker can get you out there, but the powers make you feel extremely strong. That's the thought. I think all of us are thinking. Theory crafters are thinking that the powers will make a pretty big impact on every build. That's why I specifically want to test without the powers, so I don't, skew results. This song is like, in my opinion, so mid until you get the Kendra's verse. Right here. Some guy in the game, he's like, "Are you the real Dioxide?" I'm gonna talk with Woody and go off each other's feedback. No, we don't. Nope. We just submit our own individual feedbacks for the most part. We don't like talk amongst each other and then give like one feedback kind of thing. We give our own kind of takes. Because keep in mind, everyone tests like we all test different things. So like the feedback needs to be separate based on what we actually tested versus what we think might happen, if that makes sense. Like for instance, I'm gonna tell you this right now. I already know math, just putting it in terms of just pure math, that every rogue build like took a hit. I know this already without even having to like literally mess with anything or test anything. However, I want to actually do it and say, hey, I actually played the thing and this actually happened. And it's happening by this amount. And then also tell them how it feels, because that's a big thing. How something feels is also very important. Not just how many zeros is it doing or whatever like that, but how does the build feel to play? That's also very important to note. I don't know where it's done. Just realized. Yeah, because this bricked. I don't know where it's done. Jeez. I guess it'll be a actual simulation of the build then. Okay, so I think I got all the gear pieces. Make sure I don't accidentally like rip something. I could try again and try to roll rapid fire on there and then get the right temper here, but actually no, I can't because they removed world tempers anyway. So never mind. Where am I at with resistance? Okay, I'm capped. Let's get an armor one right here. All right, and then we got Pak Ohm. That's not gonna work out. Let me check my planner. might as well have Surzek. Ignimot, really? What I chose? I guess that kind of makes sense. Rash was like, I see myself playing like he said like a week. Well, there isn't. I guess for like Rax, there isn't like there's not a long-term chase, if that makes sense, for like blasters. The boss ladder stuff is definitely more interesting, more challenging per se. I actually think that that's a step in the right direction. I think they did a pretty good job with that. Now we just got to make Infernal Hordes and Nightmare Dungeons and all that stuff have some sort of vertical progression that kind of feels like a long-term chase. Where leaderboards, I'm actually glad that we don't have leaderboards right now. I'm going to be honest with you. I know we want leaderboards, right? And you would think, oh, well, just put them on pit, right? Just like the third-party leaderboards would have. Yeah, that would be a terrible idea right now. With how imbalanced pits are, you don't. How imbalanced pits are and the amount of RMT that basically runs rampant in this game, you do not want a leaderboard right now. Not right now. Do we want one eventually? Oh yeah, for sure. But not until there's an actual mode that deserves a leaderboard. Right now, pit really ain't it. Is it Igni? Do I have Igni? I don't know if I even have Igni. Wait, is Igni a rare? No, it's a legendary right now. Dang, I don't even have it. I might have to go back. It's Bakmat. Actually, no, I can't. Let's go back.
Fashion this into something exquisite.
So back. And then Surmot. I just had Seer. Where'd it go? You trade me one? Nah, it's not that serious. The difference it makes is like very little. But if I have it, I want to use it. If not, it's cool. But thanks though. I guess I could do Sim. Actually, I don't have another Seer. It was Seer is Zach. I have Zach, right? So do that. And Seer is on my other pair of pants. Pretty sure. I thought I was sure. Did that. Yeah, it's right there. I don't know why my search wouldn't let me do the thing. Okay, so we'll do that. Oh, I have a bunch of seer right here. Where was that hiding? Yeah, gotta change the whole. Tree here. I will take sturdy, mastery. Okay, so none of these. Shadow clone. Actually, I don't need affirmation, do I? What am I missing here? So what I feel about the state of mythics in terms of obtainability. Honestly, I would make them a little more rare, to be honest. Well, actually, no, I wouldn't. Now that the bosses take a little longer to kill, I think they're fine for season 8. It's kind of funny because you dropped this afternoon, but you didn't pick it up. Oh, really? For real? Eric, what's going on? I have 4 points. I don't know where I normally would have put those 4 points at. Whatever. I'll leave it off for now. I'll figure it out later. Let's see, Heartseeker. Fire, Dark. Oh, we got Shroud. Shadow Imbuement. Dash is here. Shadow Imbuement, sorry. Shadow Clone. Old Imbuement. Get a little skills. These are the aspects. Have to change this aspect here though. What did I have? I feel like Necromancer are gonna shine this season. I honestly don't really know about Sorg actually. Necros are complaining about their blood wave not being nearly as strong anymore. I guess we'll see. Oh man, we can't go retribution. Nor conceded, really. I guess repeating. Repeating an Edge Masters is really, it's kind of really it. So, let's go repeating here. Go Edge Masters here. This is fine. We'll leave that as is. If we need to change this to something. Hey, can I do manglers here? Can. I could do Umbrus. And then no, Umbrus is defensive. Can't put it there. Oh, I can do Cold Imbuement here. Actually, now I think about it. And then go Penitent Grease for the damage boost, but I don't have Penitent Grease right now. I like Mythic need rework. There's too many there. It's just works on anything that is now Shroud, Starless, sometimes Air Shaker. Yeah. I don't disagree with that. It's kind of really it. Yeah, pretty much. Okay. Okay, so now the Paragon board. I might pull my planner out for this one so I can save time. Okay, let's see. Mm, 25 is fine. Exploit weakness. I think because the new season power is Sword Ball Lightning and the new season Lightning power. Well, I mean the new season Lightning power. I don't know. Like those are kind of like. I don't know. Like if you have the element, the matching element, is it gonna like make it better or anything like that? I don't think it scales like that. I can see the thought process though, but I don't think that's how that's intending to work. I could be wrong, but I don't see it that way. Because then that would, like, that means that there'll be several powers that most classes can't use because they don't have that element, if that makes sense. And that'd be kind of bad for diversity reasonings. But I've already heard like Lurkin kind of complaining about it, and then not so. Well, I'm saying complaining about it, but like, feeling a certain way about it, not necessarily in a good way. Even though I think he enjoys the power, like he enjoys the theory crafting there of the powers. Also, maybe be able to temper or put an aspect on mythics. Always take a spirit born how your best aspect slots always taken up by a unique. Well, I think honestly, like if you could temper or put an aspect on a mythic, then you'll kind of be more forced to kind of take more mythics as it is. I guess the hard part is that like if you make something good, like the only way that you'll kind of use something over something else is if it's the best thing ever, right? So like if you make it good enough for you to want to use, then that thing becomes the only thing that you will want to use, and then everything else no longer is worth. Like I'll give you a good example, like the Shroud of False Death, right? Like if you remove the implicit, no one would use that chest. Almost no one will use that chest. But because the implicit exists with the +1 on all passives, everyone uses the chest. That mythic chest. So how do you make something like Shroud of False Death not that good? Like how do you nerf it a little bit to where not everyone doesn't use it? But then also make it good enough for people to maybe want to use it. I actually don't know what I want to do here on this board, because cunning stratagem is not the play. Almost ready to tricks of the trade. Okay, so this is gonna be kind of random. Just pick up whatever we can here. And then we'll leave top. Actually, no, I don't have to go top. I can just stop here and go deadly ambush this way. You think they will allow the re-rolling uniques down the line? How would you do it if you could, like, what kind of system would you put in place to kind of make that happen? If you could do it, how would you do it? Okay, so that's that. Alright, last board. Feel like I already have my expectations already set, but I just want to say that I've, you know, I'm doing this to say that I've actually tried. Like, I actually tried. So, just like, you know, like you guys know, I do not have high expectations for this. Just decks. Okay. That's 5 glyphs. 24. Okay. We pretty much got everything. Oh, I might want to take that armor though. Almost forgot. That's unfortunate. Yeah, that's a D4 issue. I wouldn't necessarily say it's just a D4 issue. I feel like a lot of action RPGs kind of go through that too as well. I will say it is more prominent in certain action RPGs, like, let's say, you know, D4, for instance. I will only allow certain sets to be able to be reroll according to build style. That way there aren't any complaints on how bad a unique is. Okay. Should add a text on the top corner with that board is on each window. So annoying that you have to find a legend. Okay, fair. All right, let's see what my skills are. Oh, Deadeye, that's what I'm missing. Yeah, okay. I was wondering, I'm like, I know I'm missing something. Actually, we'll do one there. Okay, well, this is rapid fire now. I think I got everything. Specializations, combo points. All right, let's go to what I think about that, dude. I don't know if you will ever get rid of people complaining about having 'cause I guess the thing is that since uniques already roll with set stats already, like how would you re-roll them into what other like pool of stats they can get instead? That makes sense. Yeah, like let's say you roll a stat that you don't like off a unique into a generic stat, then you start to kind of lose what makes them unique in the first place, even if that stat is kind of pretty garbage. Broken Void Walker, what's up, man? Okay, well, I didn't lose my. I didn't lose my ability to play rapid fire. That's a good thing. I gotta do one more thing or two more things. I also think I kind of want to do a different. I know I did Manglers on one thing, but I think I'm gonna do Hectic on another piece. Which rogue builds are the best so far? We don't know, because none of us really have like fully geared out seasonal powers. Because this thing right here, the vendor cheats or whatever, he's not active until 2 days from now. So we're not gonna know what build does what for some time, like with the seasonal powers. What I'm doing right now is testing builds without seasonal powers, so I can get feedback on how they perform at base level. Not necessarily generic stat. It would have to be within a pool of unique stats you can run. Okay, well, in that case, yeah, cool. I'd be down for that.
No witchcraft here.
Okay, let's do Hectic actually.
Cleanse these both from my skin and
Okay, let's go back to the whatchamacallit and see how I feel. We implement LE slamming and then we take care of uniques. And then we commit the uniques OP. Okay. Now it's time to play some content, I guess. We're gonna go do, let's start a Nightmare Dungeon. Usually how I start. Most of these are bad. These, this one. I've heard this song in a while. Petition Spirits, what's going on, man? Need the Eagle Horn ever shine? No. No. I am baffled by how Eagle Horn has remained in the situation it's been in since literally its existence. Wait, I don't have a Dark Shroud at all. I might want to consider getting Dark Shroud or Umbrus or something.
The old Sakharine church is supposed to be empty. I heard bells tolling. Want to
Is there a page to see the info for season 8 or not yet? Yeah, we have it. We have all the information on season 8 on our Maxroll B4 page, or you can take a look at the blog that they have on the B4 BattleNet app. They had a whole campfire and everything about it too. Definitely cannot do this without Umbrus. You have to change the entire unique to make it viable. Yeah, pretty much from like scratch. Just like scrap the entire thing and then try again. Like, not even kidding. Almost rather just take away Bach. Nah, we'll do easier for me to get some Dark Shroud. Far. Alright, let's kill a boss. Who did we fight with Heartseeker last time? Was it Vershawn? Let's do Vershawn. Listen to his idea for Eagle Horn. What if the unique work like you shoot it breaks off into a bunch of targets, but also bounces off to kill targets and objects? It sounds like Barrage, except Barrage you don't have to kill a target for it to bounce off. I think my thing is, I put it this way. I think Rogue in general has a lot of generic ideas when it comes to like uniques or aspects. It's either a bounce or a ricochet. Split bounce or ricochet, which technically all does the same thing. There's so many of that. You see it between Dance of Knives, Rapid Fire, Barrage, Pin Shot with the unique bouncing off the walls, even though that's like terrible. Wish they had better ideas like Blade Dancer is like it's actually a decent idea. Not to mention, like, I think what Pin Shot really needs is more single target help. Anything that buffs the AoE is just gonna make Pin Shot feel bad. At the one thing it's pretty poor at doing already. I'm surprised it's taking this long. I'm gonna try Vershawn again, but with different helm. Or you should target and then you get like 5 things that break off into other targets. That still sounds a lot like Barrage. Because if you shoot a target with Barrage that on a vulnerable target, it then breaks off into different arrows and hits other targets. I'm impressed with how smooth you make rapid fire look. I've had like a I think rapid fire was the most played build for the first 3 seasons of Diablo for me. It wasn't until season 4 that I actually didn't play much rapid fire at all, because that was the season of Heartseeker. I had a lot of practice with the style. Oof. Ironically enough, though, much like I figured that was gonna happen, rapid fire is a skill that is supposed to excel in single target. But ever since season 7 happened, it struggles with single target, which is so odd. It's so awkward to me. He's nice. I can just push me in the storm and I often die. Do you have any hint on what you can do to be better? Honestly, just have to play it more. The thing on the floor is really hard to see, but like when the little ice starts like, you know, going parallel to each other on the floor, there's always one open slot. And so if you stand in that one open slot where the ice isn't like forming on the floor, then you won't get pushed. But depending on your contrast and your monitor and stuff like that, that can be a little hard to see, which has been a kind of a common complaint, to be honest with you. Yeah, it's just more so just doing the fight more, so you can get used to how that spawns. But it can get a little tricky because the mobs can also spawn on the spot that you're supposed to be standing on, and that can also kind of make things like a bit more like difficult. I'll fight them for you, so therefore you can get an idea of. It'll be a pretty long fight because I'm actually using the build that it ironically isn't doing well on single target. Jeez, that hurt. Let's go again. What part hit me? But yeah, rapid fire is also really squishy because you can't really get second wind barrier up often. Not while running Starless Skies. If you notice, I almost never have barrier. Almost died there. Okay, so Perdition felt better. At least against the bosses for sure. Alright, let's go to Beast real quick. Oh wait. Allow might come. Come on out. Nope. Okay. Bamboozled. Alright, Joachim, you there? Where is Beast? Beast is there. Okay, let's see. Only 874. What am I missing crit damage on then? I shouldn't be missing any crit damage. Also, that comes from the glyph, of course. Exploit witness. Ambush crit damage. Yeah, I got. Taking it where I should. And I'm missing someone on the neck, but that's fine. Beast and nice. Ooh, that hurt. Plays, what's going on? I gotta find an alternative way to get to get barrier. It's like really rough. I'm gonna fire without. Okay, now that hurt. How did I grind a level so quick? I'm not playing seasonal. In fact, the title says I'm testing builds without the seasonal powers. Not only that, but I think most people who played since the start today would be level 60 by now anyways. Like it takes about like 5 hours now, five and a half hours to get to 60. So like let's say the PTR launched 12 hours ago. So anyone that played throughout for that time would already be 60. Look at him. Am I res cap? Oh, I'm not. That explains a lot. That's why I'm taking so much damage. I thought it was cap. That explains a lot. Okay. Let me go fix that real quick. It's still the same season, is it not? No. Well, you don't get the season. So if you play on Eternal, you don't get season 7's bonuses. What I'm doing is testing the changes. And that's it. Basically. It's still season. Yeah, well, on live, yes. On live, yes. But on a PTR, it's the season 8. But yeah. Like when testing is done on PTR, the whatchamacallit doesn't change. Actually, you know what? Let's
Magic is neither good nor evil. How may I help you?
I was hoping it would crit on the cold and cast. All right. Let's do soothing spices here.
I forge more than horseshoes and nails. Solid bits here.
Yeah, that explains why stuff hurt as much as it was. All right, we should be a little bit better now. I still don't have barrier, but or easy access to barrier. God, that hurt. Must be the ice spice in the back. Hear about the lady who got busted from running a illegal underground fighting ring out of her bloody daycare? No, I did not. The kitty Mortal Kombat. Well, how did they find out, or how did it bust her? Yeah, I don't know if I can have to take a hit without barrier, guys. I might have to find a way to get barrier. Or for rapid fire. See, like the little area right there in the middle. Or he spawns 4 lines. You gotta stand right in between them. This is for a viewer in the chat. Oh, that was like in my face. Three or 4-year-olds doing. Are you serious? Wow. Yo, that's wild. So that's an attack you didn't do before. That must be a new. That's a new attack, isn't it? But I literally can't do this without barrier. I don't think. I already don't have much HP, but not having barrier is awful. And I have like, you know, fire ranks and then dark shroud, so I think I'd be able to take 1 hit. That attack, that's what hurts. If I had like 2 more rotations, I would have died. Is that new too? I've never known him to come down. Alright, well. I'll figure out how to get barrier at some other time, but that's mostly the fight. Wait, where am I going? Okay, that must have been under the Fat Goose Inn. Is that where I accidentally clicked on? Okay. I guess the ultimate test is go back to the pit. You put the fights on TikTok. That's how they got her. Well, I mean, I feel somewhat embarrassed if someone didn't find out if it's posted on TikTok. Seriously though. Curious if people start running Tears Might again for Boston just for the dance introduction. I don't know. Maybe. I was sending an article in Discord DMs. I like every respond. I hate you. Or you hate me. I'll take a look at the article. Okay. What is the test number pit that we normally do? Is it 70?
places.
Actually, these spires are really bad for this. Well, good and bad. All right, I'm gonna take off Starless, guys. I gotta have barrier proc. Unfortunately, daycare teacher. This is Bethany. Bethany's 3 years old. You know, the things people do, man. Actually, where's the other ring I just put here? This is it right here. This is exactly the ring I need. Oof. Wait, that's what the whatchamacallit. Not the. There you go. Now I'm capped. Okay. Rematch. I should probably want to throw back on the cow as well. This is I'm not bossing. Yeah. All right, let's change out. Oh yeah, Cal. That's what I was going to pick up. By the looks of it, nobody will be able to max out glyphs next season. I mean, I guess if you try to 1% it or whatnot when you're like, you know, under the pit tiers or like that, so maybe I'm actually fine with that, honestly. That doesn't bother me. That kind of gives you something to look forward to ish. Oh yeah, Cal is, yeah. There's no way I have enough time for the boss. Alright, I'm gonna stop after I kill these guys. Because there's really no reason to go on. Like if I was playing rapid, now granted, you know, I'm not like min-max, like completely min-max or whatever, but if I was playing rapid fire, I'd have to fish for a 70 on mostly good gear without seasonal power, which is quite wild if you think about it. But kind of what I expected. I kind of expected this to perform kind of roughly where it is. But now I actually have actual gameplay footage and proof of it.
May your road be filled with
All right.
wonders.
And some boss battles, and I think I did a Nightmare Dungeon too as well. I saved that for rapid fire. Honestly, from this particular test, I can literally tell you exactly where Pin Shot and Barrage ends up if they, because like you kind of build them. Well, maybe not Barrage because Barrage is victimized, but Pin Shot you will build them in roughly a similar way. So Pin Shot would be about easily 5 tiers below that. Stop being me. So 5 to 10 tiers below that. So assumption is Pin Shot wouldn't even be like Pin Shot wouldn't be able to get into T4 basically. With with good gear, not like min max gear, but good gear, wouldn't be able to reach it T4 with Pin Shot. I will almost probably say the same thing with Barrage. Rapid Fire barely makes it. Renoveros and Heartseeker are amongst the top 2 marksman skills. But that's pretty down bad though. I honestly think something is up with the Scoundrel's Kiss ring. I'm almost thinking the multiplier doesn't work. Because it's quite wild that like it lost power from season 6 to season 7, but season 7 gave us more power, but season 6 it was stronger. Rapid Fire didn't get nerfed. So I thought that was kind of weird. I feel like something's bugged somewhere, but I don't know if I have the willpower to try to like pull everything apart and just try to figure out what that is, like what's wrong. That's what Ava's for. And the MIA team,
I'll keep my full charge.
our internal testing team. Trying to check the boss powers where trap is. Well, I mean, not until Thursday. I am not about to sit there and like grind, level a brand new character and like try to grind good gear from scratch on a PTR. I'm not about to spend like 10, 11, 12 hours trying to get good enough gear to test trap builds with boss powers. That's why I wait till Thursday. That's why I do want to at least maybe try some Pin Shot with Victimized or something, because like there's just no way with precision it's gonna do anything. I doubt anything's gonna happen with Pin Shot and Victimized anyway, but I mean I guess it's worth a shot, because then you can actually use Eagle Horn kind of. Or not. I don't know. I think a regular crossbow would still be better. I don't even have an Eagle Horn. I usually don't keep those things. They're pretty bad. Is it a penitent apparition boss solo that makes you a little happy? Are you playing seasonal right now? So what it sounds like you're saying is that rewards are at the bottom. Well, I don't really know. I honestly don't even know where the other classes stand. Like, keep in mind, I'm testing like a bunch of builds, not necessarily just the top builds. Keep in mind that like other streamers you might be watching are probably testing what they think is going to be meta. So like, it's hard to kind of just, to wonder what the other classes are doing based off of what I'm doing, because I'm doing a whole slew of different things. right? And generally speaking, people rate a class based off of their best build. Like for instance, like Necros, right? Necros was considered the best class, but you remove Blood Wave, and Necros are just kind of okay. It's no longer the best class if you take away Blood Wave. But with Blood Wave is the best class. You see what I'm saying? So like literally one build can make people have the impression that the entire class is like better than all the other classes, and that isn't necessarily true. It just has that one really good build, right? So at the moment, Death Trap could be Rogue Savior, who knows? But it's not my job to test Death Trap. That's Mippy's. So we'll see. I have the power level. No, that's all right. I mean, it'll be so easy to get everything I need on Thursday that there's just no reason for me to spend time doing that. Bars are ridiculously strong. Just look at Robin. He's winning. With Quakes and boss power. Oh well, then that's with boss powers though. Like you're comparing me on Eternal without boss powers, and Earthquake was already like really strong past season. Like how many Barb builds are that strong? Because I think you're about to prove my point. When you say Barbs are strong, is it one build or do they have like 4 or 5 builds that are running like that? But yeah, I don't know how strong the boss powers are. You see what I'm saying? Like, did Rob ever do any testing without the boss powers? He's probably not going to do that. Trying to figure out what I would want to do next. Trying to think of if there's anything I'm missing. I don't think so. Let me see something. So T4 really difficult now. Getting into T4 is definitely harder because of the way pits scale now. It's not really. It just depends. Like if you're really casual, then yeah. I mean, if you're watching like content, like if you're watching streams and like YouTube videos, then I mean you're reach T4. So far, the boss powers are good. I don't know how strong it is after upgrading or getting the higher tier ones. That's fair. That's my rogue though. You're testing the test. I wouldn't test my test. I think I'm good until Thursday though. Yeah, I like I said, the reason I'm trying to assess how to ask for buffs for the base of our skills. You know what I mean? That's what I'm trying to do. Because I don't want to, you know, like for example, I don't want rogues to just be fine with boss powers. Because once the boss powers are gone, and this is what we're left with, that's not good. But someone has to do the testing and tell them, right? Someone's got to do it. I think I want to. Let me go ahead. Let me go ahead and get this out the way. I know I'll put close damage on this. So here's what I want to do. Just to kind of prove a point. Put that there. We'll go from rapid fire to. Actually, probably there really is no. Well, I guess the barrage aspect isn't that. Well, no, it is kind of bad.
Magic is neither
Let me stop
good
lying.
nor evil. I may
But
help you.
we'll do it for science. So we'll just kind of swap that there. Are you serious? I was scared to say if I don't get. I gotta unmark our item. I think. Oh no, I guess I've already maxed that out. All right, well, it's for testing anyways. I'm fine with that. Okay, so now literally I can just run barrage now. Go ahead and get precision barrage out the way, so I can say I did it. $14. I need whatchamacallit. Expectant. Okay, so okay.
Magic, steel. I've seen all manner.
Now in regular content, this should actually feel pretty good. Just for science, let's go ahead and do a nightmare dungeon with this. We're gonna be like, oh, that's actually pretty good. Like Roger's actually doing pretty good. Until you get to pit. Actually, wow, it took me 4 shots to get that kill. Actually, this is actually a little harder than I thought it was gonna be. For T4 combo points, precision barrage. I did trash this for rapid fire though. I can only imagine me struggling in the pit. Okay, I've seen enough for Nightmare Dungeons. Let's go ahead and hilariously attempt the 70 pit. This would be Rogue Savior. Probably be Rogue Savior in season 8. I don't know about that. At least probably not in the way that you're thinking. If anything, the the boss powers might be the savior. I think Death Trap would be Rogue's strongest build, but it's not going to be like it is in like season 7, where like Rain of Arrows is like far ahead of every other Rogue build. Like Death Trap won't have that luxury of being that far ahead of every Rogue build, but it will be good. But I still think it kind of falls behind other classes though, most other classes though. So I honestly don't even know if it would be considered an S tier build on Rogue. Rogue may not have any S tier builds. Bro, I can't even kill. I don't think I got a single kill yet. Like it almost feels like I'm like missing like a bunch of things is what it feels like, but I'm not. So pretty much what I assume. Granted, I probably should attempt to do victimized Barrage instead, but still, yeah, I'm not really missing anything. And this Skyhunter's a beast, and the temper is like perfect. The only like really good piece of gear I got, but still, yeah. So if I was trying to play pin shot with precision or Barrage with precision, I wouldn't even be able to do T4 without the boss powers. Or I wouldn't be able to get into T4 because I don't know if I'd be able to do a 65 with good gear. I'm gonna try pin shot victimize tomorrow, and maybe Heartseeker victimize tomorrow too as well, just to reconfirm what I already think about both of them already. But I want the gameplay so I can show. But I guess that's kind of it. That is it for tonight, y'all. We did practically all things precision. Didn't even bother with pin shot because I already know. Let's see. Who to rate out to? I'll get some good rest and then we'll mess around with whatchamacallit tomorrow. Victimize stuff tomorrow. And then on Thursday, we'll do the boss power stuff. At that point, we'll just add boss. We'll go through the same rotation, like Rain of Arrows first, Heartseeker second, Rapid Fire, Barrage, Pin Shot, those kind of things with the boss powers. Dream Theory crafting time. Let's figure out to Panda since he's Here's some D4. He's actually like leveling ish, or leveling, playing with some boss powers. I think you guys will enjoy him. He's a really cool guy, really good at the game. I don't think he gets enough credit, because he's like, he doesn't really market himself sort of like that. But dude is ridiculously good. Probably one of the better players in D4. He's very knowledgeable of all classes. But anyhow, enjoy Pandit. I will see y'all Wednesday night for the rest of the test. As always, till next time.